Hey divers, Alec Peirce, Scuba Tech Tips. I'm back again. Now this particular tech tip is about photography, but don't turn it off, guys. This applies to every scuba diver. This is a real bugaboo. Something's bothering me. That's what a bugaboo is. Something that bothers Alec. Anyway, I just got back from Cuba, diving at Cayo Coco. The diving was okay. Decent Caribbean diving. If you've dived the South Pacific and some really special places, expensive places, then you might not be thrilled with Cayo Coco. But it was nice. Water was warm. There were lots of fish. And a nice dive store there at Cayo Coco. And however, once again, I was out in a boat with a half a dozen other people, and once again I got irritated as the devil while on the dive. Ban these underwater photographers. What's the big deal? Here's the big deal. I'm down there trying to enjoy myself, moseying along as I do now that I'm old, seeing all the small stuff because I'm going slow, not racing around like a brand new diver, not being critical of brand new divers. I think it's wonderful. But I'm relaxing and going along. I stop and I'm taking a look, and there's a little moray eel under the coral. Cute little moray. They're always cute. Morays, I think, are cute. And I'm watching it, and he's coming out a little bit and getting closer. All of a sudden, boom, bang. What the? Sure enough, a photographer who wants a picture of the moray. I think that's great. He should take a picture of the moray to show to his family and friends. He probably never will, but he wants a picture of the moray because he's an underwater photographer, right? He has to take a picture of everything down there. That's the mentality anyway. So me, relaxed, enjoying myself on this wonderful dive, get banged out of the way. Okay, all right, I move on, and I see the color of his fins. I recognize him, so I move away, a long ways away from him, and I go over there to enjoy myself. And I'm swimming along, a little off the bottom, just relaxing, and sure enough, there's a nice little stingray, beautiful little brown spotted stingray, long tail on it. You can see the stingray comes gliding around the edge of the reef on the sand, just a little bit, and he slows down. And I just let myself sink down and sat on the sand. And there's this stingray is coming along. He's coming pretty close to me. He wasn't afraid of me because I wasn't moving. Coming in nice and close. Oh, bang! What the heck is that? Underwater photographer, right past the side of my head, wants a picture of the stingray. I think it's great. Take a picture. Well, why are you ruining my dive? Here's my opinion. And you all may have experienced this yourself on dive boats. Underwater photographers, I think it's wonderful. You got lots of money, go and buy lots of equipment, take lots of pictures. Maybe eventually, 1 in 10,000 photographers will have a picture in National Geographic. But show your family. I think it's a wonderful sport. It really is really, really nice. But there should be 2 dive boats on every dive trip. One for the divers, just out there to enjoy the reef and the marine life, just to relax and enjoy this wonderful sport of scuba diving, and another dive boat just for the photographers. So they can swim around and beat up the reef and knock the fish around and cause all kinds of problems and bang into each other as much as they want. They're all photographers. Let them enjoy each other. Just my opinion. I guess this goes to dive etiquette, underwater etiquette. We did a short video a short while ago, Kevin and I, about dive etiquette. I got a lot of great comments. Thank you very much for the comments. And some of the comments were simple. Just be nice to other people. That kind of a comment. And the same applies to you underwater photographers. So if you're an underwater photographer out there, okay, listen up. Please be aware of what you're doing as you're swimming around. I'm bumping another. It can be really, really irritating. I want to point out one more thing about underwater photographers. When I was teaching a great deal over the last 50 years, we often used to get new divers, often going up for their first open water dive, their first scuba dive, and to record this wonderful experience. And I'm not being facetious when I say that. Their first dive is always wonderful. To record that, they bought an underwater camera, and they got it. So they got all the gear on, first time. Open water, first time, and they got a camera strapped on their wrist, hanging down like that. I made them take it off. I always said, no cameras on your first open water dive. On your second, third, fourth open water dive, assuming that you have demonstrated coolness and reasonable skill underwater, then I don't mind if you bring an underwater camera. On that first dive, no. First time, you got too much on your mind, you got skills to do. I don't want you looking through the lens of a camera. And lastly, it's also very true, and the same applies to me. I've been on many, many, many dives where my job, or my preoccupation anyway, was underwater photography. And I would spend almost the entire dive looking through the viewfinder in the old days, or nowadays they look at the screen, taking pictures through, and that's their whole dive. This is the whole dive, you see? Guess what I'm missing? I'm missing the big barracuda. I'm missing all kinds of stuff because I'm concentrating on. The point is that taking a camera underwater can sometimes actually restrict the dive, can actually ruin the enjoyment of the dive. I used to get a big kick. We would have a video after some of our open water dives, and we'd have all the divers sitting around at the end of the day, you know, having a drink and relaxing, and we'd put the video on, and there'd be divers saying, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. I didn't see that. And sure, they were too busy looking through the lens or looking at the screen of the camera. So keep that in mind, okay? I don't really mean to ban underwater photographers. I guess I should say maybe wisen them up. It doesn't apply to all of them, by the way. Some of you guys are great. While I have you just for 1 second, take a look at this neat device. It's from a company called Kraken, double K, Kraken. Big fisheye lens, nice compact little housing, handle, lights, everything. This is for an iPhone. You know the cell phones now produce photography, both still and video, equal to, in many cases, equal to the most expensive camera system. So this is pretty neat, huh? Open it, put your iPhone in, right? All your controls, there's your big iPhone screen, and go and do underwater photography. Pretty neat. I think it's pretty neat. Of course, there's none of this around when I started in underwater photography. It's a pretty neat system. Maybe it's worth checking out. Anyway, here we go, guys. There's my beef on underwater photographers. Behave yourself. And keep the good pictures coming to you. All right, that's it. That's my beef. Talk to you real soon again. Alec, Peirce, Tech Tips.